Get 40% off Abercrombie Kids sweatshirts and sweatpants during their coziest sale ever. When sweats are all they want to wear, stock up on sets that are both comfy and on trend. Shop in the Abercrombie Kids app, online, and in stores to save up to 40% off all sweatshirts and sweatpants. Offer valid in stores and online October 8th, 2025 to October 13th, 2025 in US and Canada. Excludes clearance. Online price reflects discount.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
You are listening to Women's Running Stories, where exceptional women runners share inspirational stories about their running experiences. Hello, I am Cherie Louise Turner, and I'm the host and producer of this podcast. Thank you so much for being here. This is a special Part 2 episode featuring runner, role model, and groundbreaking racer Shawanna White. If you have not listened to Part 1 of Shawanna's story, I suggest you go back and start there. This episode picks up where that episode left off. That episode ended with Shawanna discussing being inducted into the National Black Distance Running Hall of Fame, which happened in 2022, and that, looking ahead, she has big goals. So let's get into it. Shawanna is going to start us off with talking about what's been going on over the last few years. Now here to share the second part of her running story is Shawanna White.
Okay, so I am finally healthy from hamstring tears. Not in only one leg, but me, gotta go big or go home. I actually discovered that I had one in the right leg as well, but not as severe as the left. So I mean, at first me and the doctors, we all thought it was like sciatica or hip, because that's the way it was showing. Like, I wasn't really having too much pain in my hamstring until towards the end. I guess that's when I must have popped, or it popped, and I didn't know. I have no idea, but I just know one day I was in severe pain, and I was just like, oh, I cannot take another step of running, and driving at that point was unbearable. I figured out if I use a pillow, that helps a lot. So, I have a 40-minute commute to my job to teach PE that requires me to sometimes be active, especially with the younger kids. I have to demonstrate and show them things. So that made it very difficult for my job. And so eventually I got an MRI, and, my chiropractor thought it was the hip, because when she was moving my leg a certain way, it made the hip hurt. But then the MRI showed that I had a grade 2 tear in the left and just a partial tear in the right. And that one wasn't symptomatic, so probably why I didn't feel it. So then, I saw one doctor. He said, I don't think you need surgery, so, you can go to PT. And then I saw another doctor just to get a second opinion to make sure, and he said the same thing. He didn't think I need surgery either, just try PT. And so I was in PT forever. I felt like I was in PT for a whole year, because, we did it, and then I tried to go back to running, then it started hurting again. And so then we back off, and then eventually at the end of 2024, I was able to start running again consistently. And now we're here in 2025, and I consider January as day one for me for running. And since January of this year, I have been able to run pain-free to this day. And so with that, it's been really hard, because, I'm also 45, and I feel like I'm going through perimenopause, as they say. And, it's just running just has been very difficult the last few months. But now I feel like it's coming around a corner because, at first just trying to run hard was just very difficult and I just get tired so quickly. And, so we decided, my coach and I, we decided that, for the summer when I was out from work, all I did was just run miles, just increase. We're just going to keep increasing the miles by 10% each week. And, just run easy. And if you run with friends, if they do something and you feel like you want to jump in, go for it. So during the summertime, I jumped in with friends. And then my one friend, she had a youth team, and I helped pace some of her runners, which was really fun. And then eventually I started back incorporating little workouts back in, and we started off with fartleks. And then in the process, I was running 5Ks along the way. And, I was kind of like stuck in 21s, which is it's it's very different from me because, at my best, I can run a marathon at 6:18 pace. And, I'm struggling just to run 5Ks at 21 minutes. And for the longest, I was just stuck there. And then finally, I broke 21 minutes. And, you know, I was really happy. And then again, I got back in another hole where I was back into the 21s. And then most recently, I started trending back in the right direction. I started improving. And so it was like 20:48. And then eventually I made a big jump for me. I'm considered this a big jump. Like 2 weekends ago, I ran 20:15, and it was a very hot and humid day because the race started at 9 o'clock. Because that's what the USC medical students wanted to do. I don't know why they think that was a great idea, but it was at 9 o'clock, and I ran 20:15, and I was jumping up as if I just ran a PR. I mean, it was a PR. It was a post-injury PR for me. And like my friend, like Shannon, she was like so excited for me. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, this is so awesome because at the time I really didn't even know what I ran. I just saw on the clock it said 20 something. And so as we was walking to my car to change my shoes, I was like, I pulled out my phone because with this racing company, the results are instant. So I looked at my phone and it said 20:15, and I was just jumping up and down with joy. And I was like, yes, I am coming back. Yes, I can feel this. And I was just like, oh my goodness. It just felt so good because I just felt like myself. I mean, with the whole just going out hard, being competitive, racing people, because at some point when I was running, I was just so not engaged in the race and just wasn't trying. And I don't know why I was doing that, but whatever happened on that Saturday, it just clicked. And all I know, regardless of whatever was happening, I was going to keep trying no matter how hard it is and how, because that's just how I am. You know, may have my little moment for a minute because I am a human. And then I realized, you know what, Shawanna, you just got to keep trying and trying and trying because eventually something is going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm willing to keep trying as long as I'm healthy and see. And, I just feel like I'm just at that breaking point. Like I feel like something big is gonna happen. I don't know what it's gonna be. And then I forgot my one friend. She was trying to motivate me in this process. She was like, Shawanna, when you break 2030, I'm gonna bake you a cake. And I totally forgot about that because it was been a struggle because for months I was not breaking even 21 minutes. So I was like, I forgot about that. And then she texted me. She was like, you did it. And I was like, I did what? And she was like, you broke 2030. And I was like, oh yeah, I so forgot about that. I'm getting a cake. And so I am getting a cake in the shape of a banana because bananas are my favorite fruit. So she's going to try to make me a banana cake in the shape of a banana. Yep.
Running healthy and on a solid trajectory, Shawanna is looking ahead to what comes next.
Well, in a short term goal, I have this big, huge short-term goal. I mean, I haven't even broken 20 minutes, but I think before the end of the year, I'm going to try to break 19 minutes. I know it sounds crazy, but I am going to try to break 19 minutes. I don't know where yet, but I'm going to find some race, maybe November, December, and try to go for it. But long term, I do want to try to PR in a marathon again because I feel like I can break 240. I don't know how far under 240 I can go, but I would really like to try to go for that within the next 2 to 3 years. For a master's runner, next year, I'm hoping to be competitive in those races and run more USTF races. I mean, I am going to run one next weekend because, I believe in just putting yourself out there even when you're not your best. But I'm hoping like next year I can be back to my best and be really competitive because I really do want to win one of those races overall, not just in my age group, but the whole race at some distance for a master's runner. Like that's really been my goal since I turned 40 and now I'm 45. So I'm hoping to do that before I turn 50, like win overall and not just my age group.
Yes, Shawanna White continues to set big goals for herself, always fueled by her signature motto.
Yeah, my motto is keep it positive because I feel like positivity, and people think when I say keep it positive that I am positive 100% of the time. And no, that's not true. I do have my moments, but in those moments, I have to find something good in a situation because, I mean, when you think about life, there's so many bad things that are happening out here in the world. And, and when I just thinking about running, like I can't I can't be too down on not achieving a goal because as long as I'm still healthy, there's still a chance. And even if I don't reach the goal, that's okay. At least I tried. And that's what I mean by keeping it positive.
Keep trying because you never know what you can do if you don't at least try. Thank you so much, Shawanna, for sharing those wise words and for setting an example of what patience, persistence, self-belief, and dreaming big looks like. And that does bring us to the end of part 2 of Shawanna White's running story on the podcast. Please look to the show notes for the link to how you can follow Shawanna on social media and keep up with all of her racing and positivity. And that does bring us to the end of this episode. That's going to do it for me. I am Cherie Louise Turner, and until next Tuesday, I do wish you healthy, joyful, positive strides forward. Women's running. Women's running stories.
Everything feels a bit uncertain right now. A few months ago, you never would have expected eggs being factored into your monthly budget. New sources of stress equal more opportunities for breakouts to strike. Luckily, Mighty Patch Original shrinks the look of pimples in just one use. We'd say that's a pretty good deal. Shop Mighty Patch at all major retailers.